All right, people, how we doing out there? First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. The company is ILG Technology Screens, but the product is called ILEG Vision Tech TV Projection Screen. Yay, I nailed it. Anyway, so we're working on this high-end projection screen. And this high-end projection screen is going to change a lot of things. It's going to help people do a lot of stuff without it costing them tons of money, without being trapped in dark environments, without dealing with a whole lot of nonsense they have to deal with. So I actually made, this morning I came in and made a bigger screen of it because, again, I need something besides the tiles we have up there. I already know what they do now. The tiles give us an idea of what we're working with. We start off with the smaller ones, and then we go from larger ones, and then we hit these right here that give me a better idea of side by side how this is going to look, because I'm ordering this sheet of plexiglass. I've ordered these before. It's like a sneeze guard, and it has the feet, little legs on it and everything. I've had one of these before, and it'll go from one end to the next. It'll be half the size of this, of course, because I don't need anything that big, and it'll allow me to display multiple projectors. Like I said, I want to invest more money into Pico projectors, because when I see Pico projectors, I always see these projectors in super dark environments. They're on white screens, they're on gray screens, there's no contrast, there's no color. You know, you can't fire off a 50 lumen, 300 lumen projector in your fully lit environment, but turn lights on in a few minutes. And you're screen washing out. You know, yeah, people worry about that on ultra strip those, and you're literally on top of the screen at 3,000, and we're at 300. So we want to do something in all categories. Like I told you, with this new technology you've been blessed to have, we are working on so many different types of screens, it's not even funny. One of the screens I do want to get into is basically for office, gaming, work, whatever you're using it for. Instead of you going out and spending all this money for an OLED or any kind of high-end monitor, the technology we have here will allow our 720p projector to produce an outstanding image. That's why I'm in the verge of actually picking up a 1080p first. A 1080p, another one, a Cumi, do a side by side to show you the difference. And in our test results of way back of showing you 4K projectors versus 720p, 720p versus 1080p, and so forth, we've been able to back that up on such a high rate on showing that our products basically really doesn't make a difference whether you have 4K or 1080p. The image is going to look absolutely outstanding. If you've seen our demonstrations, our screens and our demonstrations are clearly unmatched. So with that being said, this will allow the consumer to be able to have their own customized monitors and how they want to develop them. But on top of that, the projector system, which is fantastic kind of setup here, because I can take the projectors when I leave the office. I can take it home with me. I can use it for other things at the end of the day, and I can bring it back and use it in the office because the monitor goes with me. I can take the projector anywhere I want. And with the new flex surfaces we have, this allows you to be able to take your home theater on the go. That's why we have the thing called theater on the go, where you're allowed to take your theater, gaming on the go, whatever you want, and these portable projectors will allow you to be able to operate where you want to be at without worrying about your screen diminishing or looking unwatchable. You know, your cell phone should not be literally looking better than your screen. It really shouldn't. But anyway, so we're going to be doing portrait size screens of all these different form sites for gaming and so forth. What type of screens you're going to have. We're going to have customization. Some screens will have built-in LEDs in them, built-in speaker systems. I was going to the JVC flat wall speakers would be beautiful to install into a clear screen. That would be beautiful. But anyway, so we got all this stuff we're going to be working on. One of the screens we have, a buddy of mine is going to be building, is the screen is crystal clear. It has our coding into it. But the speaker system, it has clear boxes on the other side. You can see all the circuitry in the back of the JBL speakers. Yeah, we got some pretty sick stuff we're going to be developing. Office pods. Yeah, this is something on a whole new level. I'm going to be bringing, I have a big meeting. I'm going to be bringing in the office community, excuse me, to explain to them what the office pods are. This is going to be really cool. So again, it's going to change the way you work. It's going to change the environment that you sit in. It's going to make it more relaxing, more entertaining, and it's going to bring up work productivity to an amazing percentage, because again, those pods are going to make you feel like you're actually in another world. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And all this technology we have is designed to absorb tons of light. This is why I explain to people from the door, if you're doing demonstrations in ambient light controlled environments, this is going to hurt you because there are areas that you cannot go to due to the fact your screen cannot maintain in those environments, especially at low lumen machines. These machines right here can operate in a commercial environment without a problem. So that makes it easier for us to transport any projector we want anywhere it needs to go. And then on top of that, it doesn't use a ton of power, which is fantastic for the companies. And on top of that, there's enough power for these things to generate where we want to take them at. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic investment to invest more into these little projectors at the end of the day. So that saying, I've saved companies money. Proof. I've saved company monies by advising them not to spend money for expensive machines that they didn't need, because we know at the end of the day that they could do it for 50 bucks or under. So, yeah. Anyway, so what we have here is, when I tell you that when you do these dark environments, you cut yourself off from industrial contracts, which means schools, hospitals, any area you're going to have mass amount courthouses, all that stuff involves projection screens. I walk these areas and use watch screens all the time. Restaurants, all that stuff, you're completely out. Outdoor technology, you can't even go near that. So that's a whole world. That's millions and millions of dollars that you can't tap into because your screens are stuck in dark environments. And our technology we have over here, with a quantum that can literally bleed out a gray screen with a cell phone flashlight battery. I'm going to do a video just strictly on that, short and sweet, just showing that screen paint over there with two types of gray paint. And you're going to watch my cell phone bleed out the screen. You're going to see the contrast to show you, even at nighttime, dedicated theater rooms for gray screens, not happening. I got to go to a theater site anyway, do that video. We're going to do a bleed out. I'm going to do two of them. I'm going to do one on a pre-record because I have to take that to the other sites and show it off, and then one we have here live. All right, so they don't even work in the dark. They don't work outside. They don't work on Pico projectors. We did that. We took a Pico projector. We slammed it right against the wall. We did Tron. Only our image popped up. The white screen didn't pop up. The gray didn't pop up. So there you go right there. But anyway, those dark environments, that hurt you. So now you can't be in commercial environments. You can't even mention business because that's not good. And we've seen one in business already. We've seen, in a dark church. Because again, no, those lights weren't fully on. You can look at the fire exits and tell the lights weren't on. And kind of calibrate in that environment. It tells you right there, the screen will look better once we calibrate. Now, I can't get mad about that. I'm just repeating what I heard. The screen will look better once we calibrate. Are all the lights on? And the guy clearly said, no, the lights aren't on. Clearly, you can see that if you look over at the fire exits that are completely dark, lights are not on. And if you look in the environment, you can see I counted about 30 some lights that were not on in that environment. Yeah. So, he already knew that. I don't know why he even asked the question to begin with, if he already knew it. I don't know if you've been to church or whatever before, but if you look over, fire exits are never that dark. You know how much a violation that would be with building code violations if your fire exits are that dark where people can't see if something were to happen? You know, smoke makes it even harder for you to be to see something. You can't even see the fire exits because it's too dark. Yeah, that'd be a serious hazard. So that area is probably extremely well lit. But anyway, moving on. So that hurts you at the end of the day. I do these when I talk to customers, but I also talk to people who make these products at the end of the day. Yeah, faking it ain't going to allow you to make it. That's what's going to happen. Anyway, we can go where we want to go. So, to our customers, for those of you that are into gaming and all that stuff, working all that stuff at the end of the day, we have these screens we're going to be working on that actually fit to your desk. That's one project we're working on. It's like bath fitters, but it's a screen that fits to your desk. And the entire thing is a screen. The tabletop's a screen. The wraparound system is a screen. Now, it varies on basically how high you want the wraparound to be. Some people want it to be as high as we have right here, and some people want it a little bit lower to give you an idea how high these wraparounds will go. And one guy was asking me about if he can be submerged. He wants to be submerged. He wants his desk, and that's where we got the pods at. I was like, well, you want it in a pod? He was like, yeah, well, that's pretty cool if I get a gaming system in a pod. That'd be awesome. Now, I just triggered off a whole new different form of ideas. Now, this technology right here, as you see, is not, it is transparent in a way, but it's not transparent. You can't see through it. But the backing on the back of it is solid. but in between we left a 2-inch gap between the screen and the surface so light can transfer through. To see exactly how close and how we would have to build these screens for that surface for the light to transfer back and forth, for it to generate its gain capability. And it doesn't take much. Less than an inch of a gap. That's all it took for it to trigger on. Let's get some lights on in here, because there's no point in talking. We ain't got lights on, right? That's the piece, the whole purpose, right? Now, even though the lights over there are not going to hit my screen because we got this huge screen here, we've done tons of these demonstrations with screen transfer to lights, halo systems, all that, the back technology at 100%. At 300 lumens, this thing can push through 6K of halo light and still produce an image with no problem whatsoever. So, yeah. And then we still got the overheads. Mind you, I got 2 sets of these lights over top me, so the UFOs are still on top of me no matter what. See how bright my desk is? Oh, wait. Let's look at the monitor. We got the monitor over there, too. So now we have the technology. Mind you, we're only at 15%. This is not even a fully done product. At 15%, we now have a technology that will allow you to be able to operate these screens in your well-lit commercial environment without your screen washing out or fading. And these screens are going to come in all different types of different sizes. Now, they're going to be portable system setups for these projectors. So we're trying to figure out what sizes we would need. I got an ultra short though coming in. It's going to take a while. It's coming from Japan, but at least we'll have it here and we'll get a chance to see exactly what we can do with it. Let's see. So we got different sizes. People are asking for portrait. We're going to do custom portrait. You can do portrait on these. That projector right here, which I like the Eazy, this is my favorite projector because it has all the options. One of the things you'll run into when you're looking at portable projectors, how much of the options you will have on a large projector. Large projectors have all the options, all the bells and whistles. Like being able to hit rear mode, rear projection. Some of these projectors don't have rear projection capabilities. They just have turn it on, you can switch out whatever you want, but those particular detail menus, some of these projectors don't have them. The Eazys have these menus in there. So I can go to a Eazy and I can hit that reverse projection and it'll come through the opposite side. The Magsonics don't have them. So yeah, you have to know your portables. We know portables because we buy portables. So yeah, these are fantastic. On top of that, this projector can be tilted up, which means that the only thing on that side that allows it to tilt is just the power button. That's it. And the vents are on this side, which are good because we're not blocking any of the vents. So we can do portrait on this. Which I can show you that right now. We're on this one. I like this whole display here. And as you can see, I can see my screen crystal clear. I can see all the text, the writing, everything, the whole 9 yards. It comes up clean as clean can be. And I got a little Pac-Man playing over there. And then we got the monitor there. So I'm going to go over to, let me see. I got to come out to my page. There we go. Let's bring this down to our portrait. See how bright it pops up? Yeah, super bright. Screens have high white levels. Here we go. That's portrait. Mouse on that section. There we go. Now I'll take my projector. Now what to do with this. And there we go. Portrait. Now I gotta make me a stand. I'm gonna make me a stand that fits both the landscape and portrait because I do want to show that off. There you go. So we can make portrait screens. And the best projectors for these are the Eazys. The best thing about the Eazys are super, super cheap. They're not expensive. I paid $40 for my projector, that's it. I'm going to build me a stand today because I'm going to show some portrait on here. Go back in. Let me see. Portrait. That's great. Go back over here. Here we go. I think I'm going to build me a stand that does portrait and basically landscape at the same time. I mean, back and forth so I can switch. Now, we do have a screen we're working on that allows you to switch it at will, which means it had a wheelbase on it that clicks, that allows you to turn the screen this way, but you could turn it that way. I've seen monitors like that, and they are very expensive. This technology will allow you to do this, and it's not going to cost you a lot of money. which means now I can replace my monitor. We have over there, if I can get it in the shot right there. There we go. I can replace my monitor now with these. No more monitors. I paid I think 75 or 85 for that monitor over there. Got nothing like this. And this screen produces better color than that one over there. Way better color. The contrast level in here is darker. Now the screen you saw, the one we showed you, they're blue. These are black. And they can produce an insane amount of contrast levels. Now, like again, it's a 15% technology, which means when we're done, the screen's going to have an ultra black level attached to it, extremely high white levels. Oh, by the way, this is a technology that turns gray screens unwatchable. So it produces an insane white level. Generates at incredible, at 50 lumens, it can operate with no problem whatsoever on your desk. But yeah, it's going to be much darker than this. I want to make it look like you're actually staring into a black hole. So that's what we're doing. Building future technology. Not in an apartment screaming at a ceiling and a wall or whatever going on in that mess. Actually developing actual technology. Not using hyped up, ultra short throw projectors in dark environments on house paint. Actual functioning technology. And we got a track record a mile long. See that demonstration I showed the screen taking direct sunlight to the person screaming in their apartment about direct sunlight? That's how you do a direct sunlight demonstration. The music. Oh, that music? I like classic. I like the good oldies at the end of the day. I heard that music. I never heard that song before. I heard that song watching something on Facebook. And I loved it. I said, wow, this is a beautiful song. So I put it in a video. That's the one the guy saying, Sunny. Yeah. So next time someone says direct sunlight, no. You don't have direct sunlight. That video shows direct sunlight. You see the sun piercing through that screen. You see the sunlight on the opposite side of the screen. That's a direct hit at 100,000 lux of sunlight piercing that screen. Same embedded technology you see we have here, but this one's different. This one picked up through direct sunlight at 50 lumens. It's much different. So that's going to mean that we can go anywhere we want. Anywhere we want. And my customers can go anywhere they want. So we're going to pretty soon have technology that can replace, not replace, let's put it this way. Well, you can replace. It's much cheaper. You may have an option. Go out and get yourself a monitor. Some people do that way. Some people may do monitors and screens. It's up to you. But at least at the end of the day, you have an option there. And we're going to make these screens curved. Some of them are going to be transparent. The transparent ones are gorgeous. But the transparent ones, you can see right through them. And imagine you got the little time up here. That's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get, if I can't get it, I'm going to get my friend to build one. Because he's an app master. He's into all that crazy programming. I need a metro system set up. I don't know why I keep calling it metro. I guess because I don't know why I call it metro. I need a clock here. I need weather here, like weather broadcast here. And I need something like a little TV there, all in one. Like an app that he can download, that you can put that up there. You can put your information in on where your state you're zoning at, and then that way you can pull up your weather report in that section, your time in that section, and then whatever YouTube video you want to broadcast there. That's what I want to do with these screens. Because this will make it cool. You know, I tell you something. I saw this technology way back on, what was it called? Man, there's a one with Arnold Schwarzenegger where basically they were cloning people. And when he got up in the morning and he wanted to go to the bathroom and he shut the window and opened up, he went to the mirror, it had this little screen on it that was see-through. I could see its reflection right back. I was always blown away by that when I saw it. Wow, that's insane. Like your time and everything is right there on the mirror. And I'm thinking, man, one day I would love to have something like that. And here we are. Investing in visible technology to do stuff like that. Let me grab something real quick. Ugh. That's a good question. It's not the way I want to let you know. Invisible technology. That surface is the one that ate through sunlight at 50 lumens, a direct hit. That's the technology that did it. That's an ad tech. That's why you got to be careful about when you sit there and make statements about how we have ad tech. You don't have anything at all. You're just talking. That's all you're doing. Ad tech has multiple versions of itself. That's one right there. We got a blue one. We got another one over here. It has multiple versions. Actually, by the end of this month, you're going to see 12 more pop up. They have interesting colors to them. They do very interesting things. Some even can do holograms, special effect, projector mapping, interactive technology. So when you sit there and say, oh, we have something, you don't have anything. When you sit there and say, oh, we have his gain, you don't have my gain at the end of the day. You can't even pierce sunlight. We can do that. Once you conquer the sun, there is no place you can't go. That's the biggest fear on a projection screen is sunlight. Once you surpass that, you're good. You can go anywhere you want. I can sit there and operate on this desk. It's no problem. And I'm so happy because I hate monitors so much. They're headaches. They give me headaches all the time. I literally get headaches from monitors. Everybody in the office building, they get headaches from monitors. People I talk to like, oh man, I'm telling you, I stare at that screen all day long. That's got to be harmful for my eyes. It really has got to be harmful. Causes you pain around your eyes, makes your eyes swell up. I wouldn't be surprised if it ages you faster. Stand in front of a monitor all day long. Well, look on the bright side. These are not the old CRTs back when they used to flicker. Remember those nightmares? Sheesh, my goodness. See blots in front of your eyes? This is why I like projection. It's softer on the eyes. So light's transformed to the screen at the same time, and it's still able to operate with no problem whatsoever. Let's get my control over here. I want the daylight set on my projector. So yeah, I was setting this up and thinking we have to do a screen here to give people an idea how high this wraparound system is going to be. Now, how would they get your desk size? You send in your measurement for your desk, the pictures and measurement of your desk, and my buddy who has a 3D printing company, projector, not projector, but 3D printing for all that stuff, he would print it out for your desk. It's all one system. And guess what else I'm investing in? Cardboard builds. Yes, cardboard desk. Yeah. It wouldn't be made like the boxes we use here. We'd be using more of a heavier construction. Actually, there was somebody who did build a cardboard desk on Amazon. They build cardboard desks that you can carry with you and take where you want to go. We're going to be building our own gaming cardboard desks. This is going to be really cool. And yes, they're weatherproof. And yes, they are definitely fire resistant because it's called a flam board. This is why when I get people contact me, and they'll say the dumbest things I've heard. I mean, some people say some things, I can understand, what if it catches on fire? That's a good question. Or, you're stupid, what if it catches on fire? That means you're an idiot. Because now I got to educate you, and that's going to embarrass you, and then you leave off the channel, and you get mad and come back at me because you thought you were embarrassed. You learn to treat people a little bit more respect, and you'll get treated with respect. That's how it works. These people were homegrown. Were they taught? Who raised these people? And yeah, I think about that sometimes. You scratch your head like, who raised these people? But anyway, no, you can buy flame-resistant cardboard. You can buy it. So they have it. It's called flam board. And that's what we use to build the desks and furniture with and all that stuff. As a matter of fact, the stuff I have on the home front, if that building catches on fire, my furniture will still be there. Yours will be gone. My stuff is all flame-resistant because I built it that way. So, yeah, I tested it. I set it on fire. That stuff actually freaking works. I was like, that is crazy. Like, we have screens that are actually flame resistant. You're out there barbecuing, all kinds of stuff could pop off and happen. At least your screen will still be there, but yeah. We test a lot of stuff out in different forms of fabrics and materials and see how it would react. If the chemical would cause a reaction of changing, basically, the material's infrastructure, because it's coated with something else, they've made it, that can't cause a problem. These are things you're going to have to figure out. You can't just say yourself it's flame resistant. You really have to test this stuff. It's not to burn it. Our screens we have for the acoustics, can you wash them? Yeah, I've literally had to go to a laundromat and do a wash over and over and over and over again on a screen. Throw it in the dryer to see what reaction would we get. Would it shrink? Would it damage the surface? Would it crack? Would it peel? When I showed the screen, would it cause discoloration? And what would happen? You got to know this stuff. So if you're just making stuff up on camera, you're in a lot of trouble. Can't be saying, oh, it's machine washable, and it's not machine washable because you didn't take the time to go test it. All that stuff has to be tested. That takes tons of man hours to do that. That's why when I go look on your account, I should be seeing these videos. Machine washing, outside, weatherproof, whatever. I froze the screen into a block of ice. Gotta be to show that stuff. That stuff is right. Matter of fact, I need to post that video too. Let's go over here and do some Pac-Man on invisible and non-invisible technology. So this is going to be cool for anyone that's into like the gaming community, anything in the work community. This is a great way to have a screen designed the way you want to, where it's not going to cost you a lot of money. Portrait screens are going to cost you far more. A screen that has the ability to be to turn on its base from portrait to landscape is going to cost you money. Especially if they're OLED, you know what they're going to cost you. You can make your screen straight transparent. Now my screen, how I'm customizing mine comes up about roughly 12 inches. So it's enough where it's going to land at. 12 inches, and it's going to be roughly about as long as this desk. I'm doing mine in 3 coats. So my first coat in the middle is going to be clear and see-through, and it's going to have a little ledge there, so I can put my bobbleheads right there. And then when my projector hits it, you can see the bobbleheads in the background. I might do like I'm going to do a white light system, but I'm also going to do a chaser system through it too on top of that. So you can see the chaser system pushing through, like you see on the back of these, on the front of the computers, and we put the flex up against them. So I want a light system tracing through my system. I'm going to put dark here, and I'm going to put blue. The blue looks insane for gaming applications, so I'm definitely going to do a blue on that side over there. And I'm going to get 3 of the, actually 2 more of the QME projectors, and that's how I'm going to set it up. The one in the middle is going to be portrait. I'm setting that up for portrait. I want it to see through. I see right through it, like I have this one right here. And that's what I'm going to be doing with it. So we'll have certain stuff on there like think outside the box, which means these are areas we can go in and you can design your own form of desktop screen the way you want to have it, the way you want to design it, whatever you want to do, lights, LEDs, speakers, all that crazy stuff, we can design it right from there. And on top of that, would it cost you a lot of money? No, it's going to cost you a lot of money. The whole object of what we're doing is to develop better technology, make it affordable that everybody can afford it. Where am I? Oh, I'm on this side. I keep forgetting I'm looking at 2 screens at the same time. I'm literally looking at the screen in the background because it's showing half, and I'm looking at the other one back over here. The back and the front, the invisible one. One of my favorite games is Pac-Man. If you don't know, you gotta ask somebody. Wrong section. We're definitely wrong section here. I gotta get some more arcade games. I was trying to figure out a paint job for the PS4. I want something crazy. I was going to levitate it, but then I thought, nah, it's just too much. I want to do a paint job for it. I like my PC over here with the wet paint. I like that with the containers that spill out paint, so I think I'm going to do a wet paint theme for the PlayStation 4. And it's definitely going to have a built-in screen, a flex system that'll allow me to game right off of it on my projector, my 50 lumen projector. Because I'm going to do all these on the desk with QMEs, but I do want the PS4 to have its own projector, and this projector works perfectly with it. You're just eating it, and you did. And that's what I'm going to be doing with it. I'm going to do a nice paint job. I'm going to paint job the projector too, so it all blends in together. Yep, got a power pellet here. Do you want it? I'm just going to get more of these guys. I have a commercial going over here in the background. There we go. Where are you? I think he's going to kill me. I'm doing this with one hand because I think I ticked him off somewhere. Where's he at? Ah! It's weird because the screen is weird. It's like I said 3D because you can see it here and then it gets larger as I move to the front of the screen. Oh, that's not a bad idea for a screen. That would be interesting. Now, how would that even work? How do we build something like that? Now, see, I got something else going on in my head now. Like a two-dimensional screen. Like when somebody goes through a door and they end up in another dimension, like they're somewhere like the left of the screen, and they go to this side and up on that side. That's what it kind of feels like when I'm playing on. See, I can see over here. So I have to look on two different screens at the same time. Well, that takes a while to get used to. But it's pretty cool. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Hold on a minute. I gotta zoom so you can see this. It's crazy. So I'm looking at two screens at the same time. So I'm looking at from the left to the right. It's like some kind of like three-dimensional kind of craziness. Oh, I just got eaten alive. Oh. There we go. And it's really weird because then you have to keep your eyes on two different screens at the same time. It's pretty cool once you get it locked in. Alright. Alright. I tell you one thing, it's freaking cool. I love it. Two screens running at the same time. Well, actually, like you got one over on top of each other. Oh, wow. That gives some ideas right there. I'm going to have to build something crazy. I got something crazy passing through my head right now. We can do it with the quantum technology. I'm going to build a three-dimensional screen for Pac-Man. It's crazy because I can see it. I have to go look on this side because I see I'm going outside the screen, but I'm also inside the screen. It's kind of like if you ever played Samurai Warrior for Neo Geo, and the screen would zoom in and zoom out, zoom in and zoom out. It kind of has that kind of effect to it. That is freaking sick. An interesting way of gaming. Well, that's another project we'll be doing today. We'll have that done today. I got all the materials here to do it. Oh, that's me crazy. Sorry about that, people. Processing. Oh yeah, we're definitely building one today. We got to build one. Just passing right through. Whee! That's freaking crazy. Definitely got to build one. Oh! Makes it more challenging too. It's like when you find out on Pong that you can actually shrink the paddles and make them smaller, make the ball move faster. That is freaking cool. I like that. I'm going to definitely have to build me a three-dimension screen. Or three paradox, or whatever they call it. Vortex, paradox, whatever they call it. But until then, Yep, we have all the research into basically building the screen smaller. First starting them off with a smaller, then larger. Then you see exactly how much light the screens can absorb in. All that testing we were doing back and forth, just getting the test runs to see exactly what we need to do. Now we have a screen that can operate at 50 to 300 lumens. 500 lumens is going to be absolute overkill, but we got one coming in, and we can actually run and replace our monitors that we don't need anymore for now. These screens, and much more affordable. Let me see. Who would not want to work on a screen that you can see through? You can have it right next to the window. And I got to get a see-through keyboard. Oh, it should be fun, a see-through keyboard. It shouldn't be hard to find. Perfect. So something like that, like I said, any other company would figure out ideas to do stuff. They would charge you so much money. It wouldn't be. It'd be astounding how much money it would cost. This allows us to be able to even the playing field in all different directions. Mind, the technology also uses for advertising. The technology is also used for gaming. The technology is also used for, we're working on how to advance people's products when they go to expos and shows and stuff. We got this table we're building that literally is an advertising table. You can literally shine projectors off of it. So projectors can operate on that table at 50 and 300 lumens, and you can bring your commercial display to life off those tables. And this is your projector you'll be carrying with you on your expos. This is it. This is all you got to take with you. Get a nice little ultra short throw. You can drop it down at the base of the table. You can put a commercial right at the bottom. So instead of having all these brochures cluttering your table, at the end of the day, you can show commercials on what your product's all about. You can also put up the ad tech technology on the screen, put a projector in there, and you can actually advertise right there. We're going to have all different forms of micro mesh materials, all types of stuff that you can use to advertise your products to bring them to life. But those tables, I think that's going to be the highlight, because again, we thought at first we had to have those on the table. We don't want anything that big on the table. So to be able to run on these right here would be perfect. And again, that allows you to bring what you're trying to sell to life, your own commercials right there on your table, instead of a bunch of cluttered brochures. Get yourself one of those QR codes, and then that way you don't have any form of wasting money on brochures that people are going to eventually throw away, or they're probably not going to keep on them. You want to make an impression that they're not going to forget. So watching a commercial run off a table is going to blow their mind. They're going to bring other people back to see the table. That's what you want, and that's what that product is going to do for you. And keep in mind, no heavy projectors to lug around. Just these little projectors. That's all you need. That's it. Same thing with the, except for engineering with ad tech. Good thing I did go over to building codes to get that information about how we have to advertise and where areas there's no traffic. So like the art walk area is perfect because cars don't travel. It's all pedestrian. Inside of malls and stuff like that, those are areas we can operate in with no problem whatsoever. So that's good at the end of the day. But imagine if ad tech's able to absorb sunlight, how amazing that stuff's going to look like in areas like that. The screen's going to be absolutely insane in there. So there's just so many things we're working on. I got people in the golf community, because I go to different sites. I go to these different forum sites where people talk about golf. Do I know anything about golf? No, I don't jack about golf. I know some stuff, but not enough to just what they know. But I do know at the end of the day that their golf simulators are horrible. They're white screens. I've worked with these things before. And that's usually when you watch a golf simulator, you notice that the light will be on the person who's actually putting or teeing off the ball. Where the screen's sitting at, there's very little lighting there because the screen will wash out. Technology we have, you can light that whole thing up and make a difference. None of your colors will ever wash out. So that changes the game for them at the end of the day. And on top of that, it's affordable, because a white golf simulator screen is very expensive, where ours is pretty much going to be much lower than that and a much larger size. That's what we're doing. In every category, we're developing technology and making it more affordable, more advanced, and giving the customer back more instead of giving them less. That's why we show so many different types of screens, because that's what we're doing. That's our plan. It's going to ruffle some feathers. We already know that from the door. It's going to ruffle a lot of feathers. Big company, small, we don't care at the end of the day. My job is to come in and level the playing field so we can make this technology affordable. You shouldn't have to be in the backyard looking at a white projection screen that looks god-awful, and your cell phone looks better than the screen. It should never ever be that way, especially when you put that money and that investment into it. Your screen needs to look like a TV. That's what it needs to look like. When you're in your office, you have the option of the monitors you want to design. Well, we got to do some customized signature monitors too. Like people, I know people want to do their own signature monitors. We got to do something really crazy with that. I think the ones that are really going to sell the highest are the ones you can transfer images through. I think those are the ones people are going to like the most right there. I like that myself. But I have to do 3 of them for the display. But my middle one's going to be portrait. It's going to be that one right there in the middle. I'm going to put a nice little ledge on it, nice little white light through it, and put my bobbleheads up there so it can show up like that soda bottle or that juice bottle. Let's see. Okay, we're here. Let's go over here. I love this whole multi-screen setup thing. And then the technology we have here is rear. So we're working on we have several different versions of rear technology. If you want to put projectors behind it, the ultra short throws, you can put those behind those. You can put other projectors behind it where images can pull through. The reason why these screens and some other screens we're working on have to be, or gamer screens have to be front and rear because of driving simulators. And we're actually building wraparound driving simulators where your projection system can be on the outside on like a scaffold system, and it can basically push the image right through, and that way you have this whole wraparound screen. Instead of having a driving screen that only goes from here, you can have a screen that goes all the way around to the side. So when you're driving, you can literally turn to the side and you can see cars racing on the side of you. And that technology and the engineering is extremely cheap for us to develop at the end of the day, because the technology we design doesn't require expensive projectors. The cost to design them is actually, these screens are actually very, very affordable. So that allows us to be able to develop the technology for much cheaper for everybody. It's about time you can walk into your living room and turn on your screen and your ultra short throw pops up. We got these screens that'll pop up right behind you. Put your ultra short throw behind it. Slick black screen. Looks just like a TV, operates like a TV you can have in a fully lit environment. And guess what? You're not forced to buy projectors with high contrast. It's not needed because the screens are black. Which means you can go buy one of these projectors over here that costs $60. And because it has an enhancement technology, it'll make that 720p look incredible. PC gamers, at the end of the day, your parts and stuff, we all know we pay for parts. I've got 1050s sitting on these machines right now. I can make a 1057 with a 720p projector look insane. Which means now you don't have to buy the expensive parts if you don't want them. You have options. My next build is going to either have an RX 480 or an RX 580. I don't need really to spend the money. Don't need it. Not even necessary. Because those machines allow you to do so much more. You have to buy expensive projectors. All that stuff is not needed. We're changing all that. And yeah, you're going to see people rant and carry on and act up. That's normal. That's what we're supposed to see. That's the ruffle process. Those feathers will get ruffled. But I don't like the fact that these so-called dark environments and the way people are doing things today, that people are getting ripped off. See, that's what you should be to generate. See how beautiful that image looks? And that's on a $40 projector. This is the black technology. The black technology reads a much higher contrast level and the colors pop higher. This is also too the same technology we had. Like I said, that can make a gray screen turn different colors. No fade out, no wash out. When you get done, you take your projector, you zip it up, put it in your bag. If you got the flex surface, you can take the screen with you. They're lightweight. Now another flex we're working on, it's more like a wallpaper. It's something you can roll up, you can put into a tube. With the flex gaming systems we have them, where basically you can put these screens against your projector, against your monitors, If you have builds like my open rack PC setups, you have open racks, you can set your screens right there and lock them in. You can game right out the side of your PC with your light pushing through your screen. It's a whole new different level of doing things differently. I see those guys are sitting in the garage with the door open, and they got that little screen in there, and the light hits that screen, they start to fade out because they have poor angle gain on TVs. Man, they could have covered that entire wall with that technology. With those panel systems, and yeah, door open would have made a difference. If I was doing that, I would do the whole side of the wall in a panel system, and I would have a kind of a wraparound sofa that wrap around that screen. Especially a little section in the back for nice little, I don't drink, but some people like that, a little bar back there, a little refrigerator, whatever. When you go cooking, have the grill out on the side. Oh man, ultimate garage man cave. Whole entire wall covered in that technology. Put another one outside if you want. Put lights underneath of it. It's not going to affect it. So we're building the future. That's what we're building. And the future is extremely affordable. Very affordable. The technology is through the roof. We calibrate. We don't calibrate the projector. Never calibrated the projector a day in my life, and I don't plan to ever calibrate a projector a day in my life because it's pointless. I mean, that many colors is supposed to be equipped with. I'm in there calibrating? Heck no. Let's see. Let's go over here and get something off the Sony. Now, people that are in abstract art, like the art community, the technology we have here is works with projector mapping applications, everything you could possibly think of. Holograms, yeah. Controller? Hold on here. So you got 300 lumens, 50 lumens. You can't tell at all. The 50 lumens just as bright as the 300. The 300 is just as bright as the 50. I did this at 1000. I did a Sony VPL CS4 at 1000 lumens, 600 by 800, an SVGA versus a big boy projector at 5000 lumens, WXGA at 1920 by 1200. You couldn't tell one from the other. I remember saying that in the garage. I said, one day we're going to have it where we can basically have a desk in an office run off Pico projectors. And Lord probably sitting there saying, we're going to get it sooner than you think. We're about to get that sooner than you think. You never know what God has plans for you. But you know one thing, whatever He has plans for you, it's going to be fantastic.
If you're making a to-do list today, make it easy on yourself.
Oh, like this. Alright, I'm going to get what I need today. I need to do a portrait on this side. Just a bit of stand for the projector. And over here, paint it black so it all blends in nicely. I'm going to do portrait on this side. I'm going to do landscape on this side. But I do want to change it up now. Sorry about that. I like having the multi-screen set up because having 3 projectors set up, 2 on PCs, one's a work PC, which we have Ice Boy or Icebox, whatever you want to call it. That's my work PC, and that's my retro machine right there for gaming on. So I'm definitely going to be having one here for the gaming. This one's going to be for work on this side. We'll get rid of all these wires, put wireless keyboard and mouse, get rid of all this stuff so we can get everything nice and cleaned up on the desk. We're going to panel the desk black. And we're going to put in a LED light trace system, the chasers. It'll be like a pulse. We're going to turn it into a circuit board. In other words, we're going to turn the desk into like a giant circuit board. And the circuit board will want to do the desk, we want to do the screens, and it'll connect to the larger screen in the back. And everything looks like it's actually all locked in together. We're going to cyberpunk the desk. That's when I go to the City Hall and look at the sneeze guards they have, and my mind's like, I can turn that into a projection screen. Oh man, I can turn those into projection screens. I have no idea what they have over there. I'm gonna go over and see what I can buy with the sneeze guards from them. I'm gonna say, hey, you got any of these extra sitting around? I would love to buy one of these from you. I know people work at City Hall. I'm gonna see if I can get, if they toss them, maybe to get rid of them or whatever, if I can get a couple of them. I would love to have a couple. And they got some real nice ones too. The stands are see-through too. I'm gonna see if they got any like back on stuff. I know they bought a lot of them because of COVID, and they don't have as many as they had there. So what did they do with them? So I'm gonna see if they got any back there. Talk to a few people over there I know and see if I can get a couple of those sneeze cards. I'll pay for them. I don't care. I just want a couple of them. It'd be a lot cheaper getting it from them than getting it from basically from buying off Amazon, because some of those joints are really expensive. Yep, 50 lumens, 300 lumens. There's your one about lights out. Come up just as bright. See the reflection off the table? Come up just as bright as the monitor. Your gamers that like to be in here at nighttime and do your gaming stuff. Yeah, this is for the gaming community. Got some pretty crazy screens we're working on. Real crazy stuff. One thing I don't get is when you do like the LED lights options, they charge you so much money for LED lights. It's like, you know darn well it doesn't cost that much money to put them things in. But they're going to make that a free option for LED light displays. Because it's not hard to do. It really isn't. On top of that, in the LED lights, we get them for discounts, and on top of that, they're very affordable. We always gave our free LED lights. Every time we have LED lights, we give them for free. I think we're going to do LED light embedding for free, because I think that's the best way to go. Everybody charges so much money for that. Or you want to drop a couple of LED lights and you're going to charge me like 50, 60 bucks to put these things in. Well, it's not really hard to do. We could put those in for free. I don't see the purpose of nickel and diming it. Yeah, that's an option we could do for free, but no problem. Free LED light install. Ugh, broke my neck back there for a minute. Chair left me where I was supposed to go at. He's like, nope, I'm going. Mother George. Yeah, and do that free LED light installments. Now, when I'm doing the LED lights, they're all going to be RGBs. Why? You can change the color out to anything you want. Why not? They usually do this. They usually charge you like red, blue, green, whatever. They'll charge you that flat price. Before it was nickel and dime, they charge you for each color. But the RGBs, you know they're going to charge you a lot of money because these are remote control lights and stuff like that. We get these for pretty much nothing because we have our tax wholesale license. So if I'm putting in LED lights, they're all going to be RGBs. And the reason why, because that gives the gamer, who's got them, to change out colors at will. I love mine at the end of the day. I change mine all different colors every day. I change out every week. I get a new color. This week I got the pulse. So that's what I'm putting in. When we do our motorized projection screens, all our motorized projection screens are going to be tension, every single one of them. Why nickel and dime some on that? You can have that screen, but if you want to spend more money, you can have tension. No, they are tension. They begin at tension. All our blacks are clocks. Every single one of them are acoustic. They're all acoustic. Not that you can have that one, and that'll cost you around 80 bucks, but if you want that one, that'll cost you 300 because it's acoustic. No, they're all acoustic. That's how we're doing our company. I'm so happy. I'm so happy because of the fact that I don't have to use monitors anymore. I've been waiting for this day for so long and just giving up the monitor completely. Now I can say I haven't had a TV in years. I do know that for a fact. But the fact that I will never ever have to use a monitor ever again. And then the fact of having these little projectors, because man, we worked so hard to get to this point, to have these operate on these small projectors and be able to read like this. Because if you look back in any of my demonstrations, anytime I did any kind of tabletop projectors, we always have to use these big projectors over there. And don't get me wrong, I like the big projectors and all, but man, they can be noisy, and then the heat that blows off those things is unbelievable. You got to make sure you got to redirect it, because you're going to be frying your equipment in the process. You can't have that thing blowing into one of these open rack PCs over here. It'll cause complications. They heat the room up 10 times faster. Even in eco mode, they still generate heat. These little projectors, man, I freaking love them so much. So, can't wait to get the 500 lumen in. They don't even burn it. They're really, really very, very quiet. What do you hear? Now these areas in here, because they have air cleaners in these units, and they constantly push air in here. Air constantly flows in and out. There's vents at the bottom of my desk that constantly push cool air through here to keep the office, well, you know, they don't basically have any issues with what do you call it, mold or moisture or anything, because it's constant air pushing through these offices, which I noticed it. I was like, ooh, that's pretty cool. And they updated the daylights. That's pretty cool. I've never seen that option before, but it actually pushes a bit of fresh air through the office, which is freaking cool. We got air cleaners in here and everything, but still it does heat up in here. And in the summertime, even though we got air conditioning here, oh my goodness, man, these machines heat up the cold air so fast. So to have these little projectors in here, I cannot wait. So much easier to work. Look at the color pop on that. Oh, I can't get over that. We're using these little projectors and all this light, and look at the color pop on that. This is what I'm talking about. I'm going to stop it right there. I hope you enjoyed the video demonstration, people. I hope you understand on what we're trying to do and why we're working so hard to try to change things. And as you can see, we're going to have people that are going to hate us, can't stand us, the whole 9 yards. They don't want change. They want things to continue to stay the way they are, where customers are just going to continue to get ripped off on these poorly made products, overpriced, expensive projectors, and they're being told all kinds of tasks that they have to do to fix something that should have darn well been working when they first opened up that box for that projector. It should have never been going through that kind of nonsense. You see my projector I have right here? I don't go through any of that nonsense. I haven't even been to the menu of this projector yet. Works perfectly fine. My Chrissy up there got it, unboxed it. Works perfectly fine. Don't have to go through any of that nonsense. I can operate in my office and have no problem whatsoever. And that's what you should be getting from the door. So, we're going to change it. We're definitely going to change it. Alright, hope you enjoyed. Thank you for your time. Of course, we thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for blessing us with amazing technology. If it weren't for Him, none of this would ever be possible. Gotta go, and God bless.